So many familiar faces, so many friends sitting there. Thank you all very much for coming. And particularly for my friends in the United States who stayed up until very late. And thank you so very much, all of you, to attend this get-together. We are actually at a very sensitive time, and that things are actually things are with us. All the challenges are with us. Hi, Chee. Yeah, okay. I'm much better reading it from this paper, but they gave me a huge screen in front of it. Hearing the many distinguished speakers this morning has been most illuminating. I think we all agree that the world needs recuperation, not just from COVID and the economic havoc it brought, but also from untruth, irrationality, and distrust. In his inaugural address, U.S. President Joe Biden called upon Americans to return to truth, to respect, to stand in each other's shoes, to agree, to disagree. I think these are valid calls, not just for the Americans, but for the world. Now is the time to turn the page, to say farewell to the negatives in the past few years, and to start to work with one another again. There are so many challenges we face together. COVID could be the first alarm call that mankind can be hit by unexpected blows from nature. Both rich and developing economies, unlike, realize that we are so unprepared and ill-equipped in fighting calamities. Our economies are not that resilient. People are not being treated equally and fairly. Unless we fix these, we can expect the same to happen again, not just when another pandemic hit us, but with the quiet encroachment of climate change. Yes, climate change. We need to work together to fix these. I established the China-U.S. Exchange Foundation 12 years ago to promote understanding and cooperation between China and the United States. Being two nations, China and United States have always had their disagreements, mostly in trade and economic policies. But we also saw significant cooperation in education, sports, and in people-to-people contacts and exchanges. Most remarkably, there were 3 occasions where the two countries' leaders came together to tackle global challenges. The first one came to my mind in 2008, during the global financial crisis. President George W. Bush called President Hu Jintao to pool resources together to stimulate and stabilize the world financial market. At that time, there was instability in the world. financial market. The US put up $800 billion and asked China to put up whatever it could manage. Eventually, China put up $600 billion. This point effort succeeded, the two of them together succeeded in turning the crisis around. Number two, in 2013, there was an attack on Ebola disease in West Africa. China and the US jointly provided medical relief supplies and personnel and logistic and security cover. Within 6 months, the epidemic was contained. And third one, in 2016, in face of climate change, President Obama and President Chee came together. Their joint leadership brought 170 nations to sign on to the Paris Climate Accord. Those were triumphs of humanity facing challenge together. And they were involving China and the United States. Regretfully, this cooperative spirit was lost in the past few years. It was replaced by anxiety, by resentment, and by rejection, most of which I'd say emanated from the US. They arose from a lack of understanding of China. Why has China grown so fast? How could a communist and totalitarian system be so successful? What is China's intention? What role will the US play in the new Cold Order? These questions sowed fear, and with fear come distrust. I think in a more rational moment, we all know that nature and history shape each country differently. Each country is different in geography and culture, in resource, in the paths of development, and in human capital. When alone, nations may lack this and that capacity, but leveraging each other's comparative advantages, nations can complement one another, benefiting all. China has the comparative advantage of a huge market, a more developed and integrated manufacturing and logistical infrastructure, a people that is hardworking, entrepreneurial, and full of hope. China is ready to contribute to these, to the world economy. China has benefited from globalization in the last 40 years. The way China capitalized on it was through reform and through opening up. As China continues to strive towards its goal of meeting its people's aspirations of a good life, it will continue to reform and continue to open up the country. China's history in the last 2 centuries has brought about its current governance system, led by the Chinese Communist Party. But if we ask Chinese people, the majority of them think the current government system is good for the country. From a research conducted by Harvard Ash Center not too long ago, over 90% of the Chinese people agree with the government's direction and are hopeful about the country's future. 90%. I should also stress that China has no hegemonic ambition, absolutely none. So Like every nation, China will protect its own interests, but we believe in living peacefully with all members of a community of nations. It has often been quoted, even at the height of its imperial power, the Han people, the Han people, I'm a Han people, has never invaded another country. You ask my wife. We also understand that the world needs assurance that all nations will abide by the rule-based system. China shares the same belief and will work to improve and protect this rule-based system. Yes, we will. President Xi says it well. China pledges to be the builder of world peace, contributor to global economic development, and most importantly, to building community with a shared future for the mankind. Being the two largest economies, the U.S. and China can work together in many areas. President Biden has said that his 4 priorities are the pandemics, the economy, the climate change, and the racial injustice. There is no question the two countries can work together in at least the first 3 of the priorities. We can do it very well together. So let us join our hands in accelerating the development, making the distribution of safe vaccines to the world's people, in addressing the normal trading relationships. It will help unemployment and economic flight of business and families, in getting experts and institutions to dialogue again, and students to learn from one another, in finding peaceful solutions to the world's hotspots and conflicts, and in finding ways to prevent man from destroying his own planet. Speaking yesterday at the DEF Davis Agenda 2021, President Xi Jinping urged the international community to stand united and work together, warning that history has shown countries that chose to go it alone, and those very often will fail. He called people around the world to join hands and let multilateralism light our way forward, a community with a shared future for mankind. There are lots of work to do, and I'm very encouraged at having listened to our other distinguished guests just now. All the ideas they have, the things they would like to do. It's wonderful. We keep you stay up late. But thank you so much. But I do want to say that this, of course, is a highly unusual get-together, and it's an experience for our foundation. But I do want to say that we hope by autumn, the virus hopefully would be gone already. And if that is the case, we certainly would want to invite everybody here again, and most importantly, from our friends from Europe, from the United States, and everywhere we've invited, but you guys cannot come. But hopefully, in the autumn time, I'm not quite sure when, but the autumn time, we can invite you, all of you, 6 of you, to come to Hong Kong, and I hope by then, we will see a lot more progress. And if not, we can work up even more heat to make things right again. So thank you so very much for coming or for staying up late, and thank you for joining our breakfast. Thank you very much.